Hi there, I'm Michelle Tompkins, Wellness Manager, joined with Valerie Buttram. She is the Oncology Education Coordinator with Lee Health. So welcome, Valerie. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
So this is your first time at Shell Point.
Yes.
Okay, now what will you be discussing with your program? Your program is called Healthy Digestion in the Gut Microbiome. What does that mean?
That's correct. That's correct. And I'm sure that you and many of our listeners have heard about the healthy biome probably over the last 4 to 5 years. It's been a real hot topic. And so what I like to do is be able to communicate to my clients and my audience about how it relates to you.
Okay.
So we'll talk about healthy digestion, how to attain it, and how to keep that gut healthy.
Before we go any further, you are the Oncology Education Coordinator, but this program is not going to be just for those who are cancer survivors or cancer patients, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So give us some tips, without giving too much away, on how we can incorporate healthy lifestyle choices to have healthy digestion.
All right, great. So what I like to relate to my folks is that there is a definite advantage of taking a look at a healthy microbiome, and your healthy microbiome would be your gut, understanding that there's about 100 trillion microorganisms in everybody's gut, and they're all different, just based on your genetics, based on what you like to eat, and based on different things in your individual gut. And so from that standpoint, we need to be able to recognize that if we can keep it healthy and keep it uninflamed, then we can digest our foods normally. And it really makes a big difference in regard to how you're feeling. Because there is such a thing called a brain-gut axis. And so when we are consuming foods, we need to understand that that is sending signals through our nervous system to our gut. And if we're stressed, or we're stressful, or we're not tolerating what we're eating, or we're in a hurry, or we're mindless eating, meaning we're just eating along the way, it can really upset your stomach. And so then that would then indicate that you may have some indigestion or some intolerances. And if your gut is not calm and absorbing what you're eating the way it is created to, then that causes a lot of havoc. And it can cause indigestion. It can either speed up that elimination or it can slow it down. And so from that standpoint, you don't have a happy gut.
No. We've all felt that after the holidays even. We've eaten too much, or maybe too much of the wrong things. We get a little bit of indigestion, but that's not something that we want ongoing for the long term chronically.
Correct. Because it can lead into a lot of different disease risks.
And you mentioned inflammation. That's a hot ticket word right there. We read a lot about the anti-inflammatory diet.
Yes.
I would suppose this would be very similar.
Very similar. That's correct.
What types of fruits and vegetables and foods could be good for the gut?
So you had indicated anti-inflammatory diet really is kind of the base that we work off of. And I work with a lot of motivational interviewing, so I want to know particularly what that client likes, and then we build on it. Because there's no good or bad food. It's really how that client is going to go home and be able to assimilate and take those recommendations and put them into their lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So an anti-inflammatory diet are foods, of course, that don't cause inflammation in the gut. And so we want to really stay away from a lot of processed foods. We want to get more plant food sources in our diet, more fiber, adequate hydration. We want to stay away from things that have too much saturated fat in them. And we can identify that by the food label pretty easily.
Absolutely.
The other is that we want to have adequate fiber, and we want to get those plant food sources in that actually protect that cellular lining from breaking down.
Absolutely. And I know I've read that the average American gets about half the amount of fiber that is recommended.
Correct. And there's so many easy ways that we can start to consume adequate fiber.
Absolutely. So these are all things that we've heard time and time and time again. We just need to put them into action. And
Correct.
it's always great to hear them again from somebody different and to hear another correlation. So what else should we know about your program?
Well, the program that I'm going to be speaking about in February is going to be talking about healthy digestion, how our bodies are created. And a lot of times when my clients can actually see a visual of what the digestive tract looks like, sometimes anatomy is removed because of surgery or other past health issues. And if we know what can be digested and have what I call a good motility through that whole digestive tract, that keeps everything kind of calm. And we want to absorb foods. That's why we're eating them, for the nutrients. We want to avoid malnutrition, and we want to make sure that that elimination is normal.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I know that we're going to have a great turnout for this
Oh,
because
good.
our residents love anything about health, fitness, and nutrition. They're some of the fittest residents and healthiest ones out there in the Fort Myers. So I know that we're going to have a great turnout. Thank you so much for joining us today. Valerie, thank you. And if you'd like to sign up, please call your service desk. Remember, this is on February 19th at 11 a.m. Come on out and learn about how to incorporate a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle for a healthy gut.
Great. Hope to see you then.